Some of the smartest people struggle financially for years. They read more, know more, think deeply. And yet, many of them still feel stuck. Meanwhile, other people acircumflex euros, who may not seem more intelligent acircumflex euros, continue building opportunities, growing their income, and moving forward. So why does this happen? Because intelligence alone rarely guarantees success. In many cases, the difference comes down to behavior. The ability to take action, adapt to change, communicate value, and make consistent decisions over time. And the truth is, a lot of intelligent people quietly develop habits that slow their progress without even realizing it. Their skills stop evolving. Their opportunities slowly shrink. And over time, they begin feeling stuck despite having enormous potential. So in this video, we'll break down 10 reasons why intelligent people often stay financially stuck and what actually matters instead. For a long time, people believed intelligence was one of the biggest predictors of success. Good grades, high test scores, strong academic performance. But in today's world, knowledge alone is no longer enough. Because information is everywhere. What matters now is how people apply what they know in real life. And increasingly, success depends less on intelligence itself, and more on behavior, adaptability, communication, emotional control, and execution. In the modern economy, especially in the United States, people who move ahead are often not the people who know the most. They're the people who consistently take action, continue learning, and adapt faster than others. Point 1. They overthink instead of acting. Many intelligent people spend too much time analyzing. They want the perfect plans, the perfect timing, feeling fully confident before they begin. But while they continue thinking, other people start moving. And in many situations, action creates more progress than endless preparation. Because experience teaches lessons that thinking alone never can. Meanwhile, overthinking often creates hesitation. And those delays slowly become missed opportunities over time. Point 2. They wait for perfect conditions. Another common problem is waiting for certainty. Some people believe they should only take action when everything feels secure, predictable, and completely under control. But real life rarely works that way. Industries change, technology evolves, markets shift constantly. And in many cases, this shift is already affecting hiring decisions, careers, and business opportunities. The people who move ahead are usually willing to begin before they feel fully ready. Because growth often comes from adapting during uncertainty, not avoiding it. Point 3. They focus only on knowledge. Knowledge is valuable. But knowledge without execution has limited impact. Some intelligent people spend years consuming information without building anything practical. Reading more, watching more, planning more. But never applying what they learn consistently. Meanwhile, people who experiment, practice, and create visible results often build opportunities much faster. Because in today's world, what you can demonstrate matters more than what you simply know. Point 4. They ignore communication skills. Many people underestimate how important communication really is. But the ability to explain ideas clearly can completely change someone's opportunities. This affects interviews, leadership, networking, business, remote work, content creation. And in many cases, people with average technical skills but excellent communication outperform people who are technically smarter. Because perception influences opportunity, the ability to present ideas clearly often matters just as much as the ideas themselves. Mid-video are engagements. But this is where the gap between people often becomes much larger. Because intelligence can help someone understand the world, but behavior determines whether they actually move forward in it.
Point 5. They avoid calculated risks. Intelligent people often see risks very clearly. They can predict problems, analyze downsides, and imagine worst-case scenarios. But sometimes this creates excessive caution. Meanwhile, people who grow financially often learn how to take calculated risks responsibly. Starting businesses, learning new skills, changing careers, trying new opportunities. Because avoiding every risk may feel safe in the short term, but it can quietly limit growth over time.
Point 6. They struggle with consistency. Some people rely too heavily on motivation. But long-term success usually depends more on consistency than temporary inspiration. Small actions repeated consistently often create larger results than occasional bursts of intense effort. This applies to learning, careers, fitness, business, financial growth. Because success is rarely one dramatic moment. It's usually the result of habits repeated consistently for years. Point 7. They undervalue networkings. Many intelligent people believe their work should speak for itself. But opportunities often come through relationships, through conversations, recommendations, connections, collaboration, and sometimes one relationship can create a new job, a mentor, a business partnership, or a major opportunity. In today's world, visibility matters more than ever, because people cannot value what they never see. Point 8. They resist change too long. The modern world changes quickly. New technology appears constantly. Industries evolve. Old systems disappear. But some intelligent people become too attached to what worked in the past. And the longer someone resists change, the harder adaptation becomes later. Meanwhile, people who stay flexible often position themselves ahead of major shifts before others even notice them. This is one reason why adaptability is becoming one of the most valuable skills in the modern economy. Point 9. They let fear of failure control them. Intelligent people often place enormous pressure on themselves. They want to avoid mistakes, avoid embarrassment, avoid looking inexperienced. But this fear can quietly prevent growth, because failure is usually part of improvement. And people who continue learning from mistakes often develop resilience much faster than people trying to avoid failure completely. In many cases, progress comes from being willing to look imperfect while learning. Point 10. They don't develop financial awareness. Being intelligent does not automatically mean understanding money. Financial growth often requires learning skills that schools rarely teach well. Things like budgeting, investing, managing risk, understanding value creation, long-term financial thinking. And without financial awareness, even highly intelligent people can struggle financially for years despite working hard. Because income alone does not automatically create stability. Financial progress usually comes from understanding how money works over time. Transition. And when you look at these patterns together, a clear idea begins to emerge. Intelligence can create potential. But potential only matters when it's combined with action, adaptability, communication, and consistency. Conclusion. In the modern world, success is becoming less about who knows the most, and more about who can adapt, apply knowledge, build relationships, and continue growing over time. Because intelligence is valuable. But intelligence without execution often stays invisible. And while knowledge can open doors, behavior is usually what determines whether someone walks through them. So the goal is not simply to become smarter. It's to develop the habits, mindset, and actions that allow intelligence to create real-world progress over time.